thought about this on the way over. I think Steve Grant is trying to top Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy Rollins, of course, trying to break the hit record in Philadelphia. Steve Grant is trying to get to the top of that seniority list for so hard. I'm not sure he quite made it, but close. And he finally, I guess, is going to retire after all of these fake outs he gave us all these years. And, Dr. Waters had a lot of neat things about what finally pushed Steve over the cliff to retire. I think Linda could probably help us out here because Linda used to have to shake him and push him out the door this past year. And Steve, I don't want to go to school. They pick on me all the time. Steve, you have to go. You're the teacher. I think Steve, the very first day of school, knew he was in for probably his last year of teaching when Steve was always trying to build kids up and give them confidence and feel good about themselves. So he thought he'd try something different, and he asked his class the very first day of school, anyone who thinks they're stupid, stand up. So Steve thinking, well, no one's going to stand up, you know. But lo and behold, one kid stands up. Now Steve doesn't know how to quite handle this. You don't really want to be standing. You're not really stupid. He goes, no, but I don't want you to be standing alone. And then early in the school year, Steve, being the creative, one of the most creative teachers I have ever seen, asked the brain class to try to think up the longest sentence they could come up with. So they thought about it. Finally, one of the kids raised his hand, calls on him, and goes, what's your longest sentence? Being assigned to your classroom. And we all know that Steve would walk to school every day, and we all, you know, one of the things that finally just happened this spring that really made Steve realize that he really shouldn't be going back into school anymore. He got lost a couple times. And a lot of people think that Steve walked for the exercise, but it really wasn't for the exercise. It was to save gas money. Let's get real here. I don't really want to call Steve Grant cheap. But we were just talking about this story, a couple guys back here, and I know that you young people probably don't know this about Steve, so I thought it might be nice to share. Back in our first few years of teaching, our administration was kind enough to give us enough time to go out for lunch. I don't know if they do that now. They allow people out to eat at lunch. Is that true, Dr. Well, I think we used to have a little time to go out to lunch, so a bunch of guys would go out to lunch and we'd order our sandwiches and we'd order soda, and Steve would order a sandwich and just want a glass of water. Steve, don't you want like a Coke or something? And before you know it, Steve would be digging into his jacket pocket and coming out with a powdered iced tea mix. Pouring a powdered iced tea mix in his water. $7 for a glass of I wouldn't call him cheap. The younger teachers, you can learn a lot. Let's get away from those things and talk about Steve as an educator. You young teachers can learn a lot from Steve. There's a lot of things you can get. For example, I was always amazed that the bulletin board Steve Grant would have up in his room looked exactly like the one he had up the last year. And the year before that. And the year before that. It's good. And when the fourth grade, they took Pennsylvania history out of their curriculum, That didn't stop Steve from putting up his Pennsylvania flag. Cooperative learning, Steve was all over it way before it became a fad and a popular thing. He encouraged many kids to become future teachers. In fact, most of the time the kids were teaching his lessons. I spent a lot of years working with Steve at after-school activities, and here's something you young people can really pick up on: time management. Steve was a master at time management. We would have the kids in an activity for about 5 minutes, and sure enough, it was time for a water break. When you have like 40 kids in an activity, it takes about 15 minutes for the water break. Then we get back and do the activity for another 5 or 10 minutes, and then time for another water break. So in the hour session, the kids probably had about 20 minutes of activity and 40 minutes of water. Wonder why they were running the bathroom all the time. Differentiated instruction. Steve had his own ideas about differentiated instruction. He really was all over it when he decided that he could put his worksheets in different colors. He thought he had it all done then. And no child left behind. Steve was always confused about this concept, no child left behind. So don't be surprised next year if you see Steve driving an Upper Moreland bus, because there's a rumor that he's applying for a bus driver position, so he will truly then never leave a child behind. So I wasn't going to bore younger people with stories from Cold Spring, things that could possibly get Steve fired in his last couple of days of his career. So I'm not going to mention the Scholastic books, what he used to do with those, and the classroom pictures, raffles, kickball injuries, and only a few of us would know what we were talking about anyway, so I'm not gonna bore you with that stuff, but what we all will remember about these people that are leaving us tonight is the great positive impact that you have had on thousands of Upper Moreland students.